I found that my wife had a shocking work on the sideline. Part 1. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss another cheating story goes live. For context, early in March 2020, I, 33M, found out that my wife, 33F, had been working on the sideline as a prostitute while I was sleeping at home or away at work for almost a year. My work schedule at the time was rotating shifts and usually 12 hours, so I was gone a lot and slept random hours when I was home. This was one of the most difficult times of my life, being forced into a schedule like this and trying to take care of her and our 3-year-old son. To complicate things, one of her friends who was divorcing her husband and her 2 kids moved into our house during this time. So the last few months I've noticed my wife acting strangely. This all started one night when I was getting ready for work. One of her friends was over at our house and they were in the bathroom talking while my wife was giving our 3-year-old son a bath. I walked in to use the sink and noticed my wife's phone sitting on the counter with a text message open. I didn't have time to read over it, but it caught my attention because it was a number that wasn't saved in her phone and had a picture of some guy I don't know and I think mentioned the word picture. She grabbed it and had a deer in the headlights look. But I didn't say anything then as her friend was right there and I was running late for work. The next day I tried to look at her phone but discovered she had changed the password on it to keep me out. I decided to let it go a few days so I wouldn't jump to conclusions and wanted to see if anything else popped up or if she said anything. It was about that time our 3-year-old was playing with her phone and had her picture folder opened. And I found a bunch of nude pictures of my wife that she hadn't shown me. I wanted to talk to her about it then but didn't really get a good chance because of our work schedules and then her mom suddenly passed away. I've kept all of this bottled up for a few months in agony that she's been cheating on me or seeing somebody else. Last night I finally felt able to bring it up with her and she initially deflected everything and wouldn't answer my questions about the pictures. After several hours she finally admitted she's been selling nude pictures online and basically shrugged it off as nothing. This has torn me up pretty bad that she's been doing this behind my back. And she claims it's because we don't have enough money. I've got a pretty good job. We're middle class and have debt but not destitute by any means. And that I've forced her to do this. She said she resents me for making her do this and for putting her into that position. She also thinks I should be thankful that she's making money to help pay the bills. I don't feel that way at all though, I would never ask her to do anything like that. I also feel upset that she did this out of resentment for me like I somehow had a choice in the matter. She has refused to tell me which websites she's on, or show me any of the pictures or give me any information whatsoever. I told her this is a line in the sand issue for me and I'm afraid we're headed for a divorce if she can't disclose this part of her life with me. We've always been pretty open about our phones but she has dug her heels in and feels like I don't need to have any access or need to know about this part of her life. I've been trying to improve our relationship but it feels really hard for me to do anything when she's got this going on. I really don't want to see the websites she's on but feel somehow that would give me some closure. She knows I'm upset about this but doesn't have any plans to stop and I know she's texting random guys when I'm with her. I think if she had told me about this in the beginning it might have been different, but it hurts that she's been doing this behind my back and doesn't plan on stopping until we have more money. I'm not a big fan of my wife posting naked pictures of herself and handing out her phone number over the internet and don't really know what to do. I talked to my wife this afternoon and found out the rest of the story. Turns out it was far worse than her just sending nude pics for money. That was just the cover story. She still won't show me any evidence but told me that she's been on a sugar daddy site and has turned to full-blown prostitution. She said she's had sex with about 10 guys in the last few months but still doesn't think it was wrong. I know she was worried about finances but I've been making about $60-70K the last few years which I think is enough to get by. We're in our early 30s and have a young son and mortgage, student loans etc. but have never missed any bills I know of. I don't have a degree and work in law enforcement, which I never wanted but feel it's the most I can make to provide for my family. She does have a degree and worked with autistic children but got tired of it and quit a few months ago. Since then she's been working part-time as a nanny for an autistic child and prostituting the rest of the time. I find it odd that at this point she doesn't regret what she's done but still feels it's my fault. She refuses to admit divorce is on the table but I don't think I have much choice now. I've known her most of my life and we've been together for 10 years and I love her to the ends of the earth. I knew we had some problems but figured it was normal for the first few years of being out of school and having a kid, buying a house, establishing a family etc. Even after this I still love her, and it's going to be the most painful thing I do in my life but I have to leave her. I wish we could forget and try and work things out, but I don't think it would ever be the same. Yeah, I know there has to be a better life out there and am determined to find it. Update: when I found out what my wife had been up to, I was so blindsided and in shock that I lived in a state of deep depression and fog for months. To this day I'm struggling. This summer I started taking depression meds, which has helped, and my work schedule is now closer to normal hours with usually only 8-hour shifts. I was so lost that I was afraid to make the decision to stay or leave, and ended up staying. In my eyes, I would always regret leaving if I didn't at least make an attempt to stay together and get things back on track. A few weeks ago my wife and I took a vacation to Mexico for a week together. This was in essence the honeymoon we never had, though we've been married for 4 years now, together 10. Even though we've tried to work on things, it feels more like a stalemate to me. Our entire vacation I was plagued by the thought of her cheating. She still makes me laugh, and in a lot of ways is still my best friend. But it really hit me that even laying on a tropical beach in one of the most beautiful places in the world, her cheating was still eating away at my soul. She was enjoying herself and completely unaware, and I tried to act happy because I didn't want to ruin or fight on this vacation we've wanted for so long. I can't even enjoy sex with her. I have a high sex drive and would be happy getting it every day. Being working parents, I understand that's not always possible, but I'm content with 2 to 3 times a week if we can make it work. She never initiates anymore, and I feel like giving up even trying. I'm a very physical person, and even just touching or hugging or kissing is extremely important to me to show affection. When we do have sex, I'm plagued with mind movies and I just don't feel the same connection there used to be. She doesn't even try to make it interesting anymore, and usually complains about it. This is devastating to me, as I know she did a lot of things with these other guys that she refuses to do with me. She still has zero remorse about cheating and insists it doesn't even count as cheating. She claims I was so abusive to her and was spending all of our money that she had no choice. She thinks I should be glad she did what she did to take care of us, and I should empathize with her because I don't understand the pain of what she went through to be a prostitute. Right, all bullshit. I have refused from day one to take any responsibility for her actions and have stood by that. I admit I'm not perfect and made mistakes. The thing that bothers her the most is how I treated her when our son was born. I left her to care for our son a lot of nights alone, and didn't help around the house enough. I'll accept that, as at that time I was working a ton of hours as a truck driver and in construction and usually came home and fell asleep and woke up to go back to work again. I admit I should have been there for her and our son more than I was, and have changed that behavior. Still, that in no way justifies going outside of our marriage to cheat. The money issue is really just a justification for her, as last year I nearly doubled my normal salary while she worked a few hours a week and hardly made anything. There are more to come. Find out the update of this story, check our channel or the description. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.